Right, hello YouTube. Bit of an ambulance update today. As you can see, it's not an ambulance anymore, is it? It's just a transit chassis and cab. Basically, the metalwork in that body was shot. All the metalwork around the bottom and the outriggers, it was that rusty. I'd have been rebuilding that whole body, or all the metalwork in that body, before I'd have got anywhere. So I've just bit the bullet, and a mate of mine, he had a nice big skip in, and he said, look, if you give me 100 quid, no, 150, sorry, I'll come down with my lorry and Hiab, I'll lift the body off, take it away, put it in the skip, and it's gone. So Easter weekend, dodging the rain, that's what I spent doing. And now I'm left with a chassis and cab. So yeah, it looks a bit different now, doesn't it? I'll give you a bit of a close-up look now. Okay, now I don't know whether you're going to be able to see me in this shot, but here is the front part of my chassis. Now, when this was made into an ambulance, they coated it with all this black underseal that you can see here. I don't know what it is, but it's bloody good stuff, and it protected the body very, very, very well. Now, the issue I was having was these outriggers. Now, as you can see, they're pretty rotten, and all of the metalwork in the body was as good as what this is. Some bits of it are all right, but on the whole, it was as good as knackered. Now these, not sure where this one come from, about here like this. These were all on here like this. There's some of them that are hardly attached at all, but I've taken this one off. They're quite well fixed on. They've got a couple of pot rivets here, spot weld here, spot weld here. This bracket then comes across the top and goes down the inside the same, where there's another spot weld here and here, but on the inside. There's a blobber weld on the outside of the brackets as well, and I think there's 3 if not 4 spot welds in the top here. So on the whole, this chassis is rather solid, considering this van is 30 years old. Well, no, sorry, it's 29. It was made in 1989 was when it was first registered. So 29 years of having this underseal, whatever it is. I mean, there is a few holes. As you can see here, this hole has appeared from where that bracket was attached, and that's kind of helped corrode the body a little bit, but I'm rather pleased with the overall condition of it, because it's had all this black stuff on. I'd love to know what this black stuff is, because I'm going to get some more, and when I get it sorted out, give it another coat of it, because it's protected it amazingly well, and I'm rather impressed. There's rather a lot of outriggers, cross members been put into this, which makes it nice and strong, which is all good. So yeah, I'll just show you a little bit more of it. Right, here we are, moving back a little bit. This is still on the driver's side, and this outrigger, which got big lumps of rust on it. Look at that, that's terrible. This outrigger has been gone for a very long time. This is one of them that was missing. As you can see, again, it's rotten. It's almost as if they've protected the chassis, but they've not protected the bits of metal that they've put on it. So, I mean, there is bits of rust on here, and I'm probably going to have to replace some of this, because this is looking a bit, you know. But as one of my mates did say, they've not seen a Ford Transit in this sort of condition for a long time. I've got another bit of rust here. That bit's probably going to need replacing, look. And this here, now although it's rusty, it's not rusted through, so that's all good. That'll probably all need replacing. But yeah, this outrigger, there's I mean, look at that. That's corrosion. That is. That's Ford. Well, no, it's ambulance body corrosion. But this outrigger, that's been missing for a long time. So that's one of the issues. But what I need to do is give this all a good clean up. I mean, you can see some of the stuff I'm chipping off here, but it's not actually rotted right through, you know. So, but all of this corrosion, I believe, has all stemmed from these. These are what's made it go rusty. Now, yeah, I'm quite impressed. These here, I think I'm going to have to get these off. You see, there's a bit there as well. Look. I think I'm going to have to get these off, get them shot blasted, so they're all nice and clean again, which are the leaf spring mountings, and then put them back on. Now, I'm going to have to lengthen this chassis to get the loop, because I'm going to put a looping box on it. Now, the looping box that I'm planning on putting on is about 3 foot longer than what the ambulance body was. It's going to be about 13 foot long. Now, if I was to put it straight on this, it would I'd get an extra 3 foot of overhang on top of what I've got, which is too much. So I'm going to have to stick some in the middle of this, and I think the best place to be doing that is around about above this, about here, in between this cross member and where these cross pieces in the middle bolt up. I'm not too sure about that yet, but we'll look into that. But you can see there is original Ford Transit paint under all of this black underseal, as you can see here. Now, I'm pretty sure if I was to get all of this black underseal off, underneath would still be nice shiny white Ford Transit paint. Quite remarkable. These are a cast part, so these should be fairly solid still. Give them a good shot blast up, and they should be good to go again. New bolts in there. Yeah, they should be good to go again, as long as the chassis is good underneath it. But we'll see how we go. We'll have a look a bit further back now. Right, here is the driver's side rear spring hanger. Now, again, this is solid. It all looks good. This piece here has all started going rusty from this. Tell you what, I've seen newer Transits than this with more rust. And bearing in mind this hasn't actually had any plates welded. This here, gone. A bit more of that bodywork gone, and I'm not so sure as that isn't really that well connected. So yeah, that's kind of yeah. But this outrigger, or this, I mean, that underseal is probably 2 or 3 mil thick. But yeah, this is the rear spring hanger, and to me that looks pretty good. Chip some of that black stuff off. Look, we've still got the white paint under there. I'm not quite sure what this black stuff is. It's good stuff, and it's been put on thick, which is really good. But yeah, plenty of white paint under there, which is all good. yeah, so I'm quite pleased with that. So there's the rear spring hanger, which all look pretty good to me. These are all going to want shot blasting up, and I think I'm going to have to get some new leaf springs, because I think those leaf springs are about had it. But once I get like these bits all off, grind them pot rivets off, that'll come off. These are proving a bit tricky up the top to get off. You can see how much of it's falling out when I do that. It's quite shocking really, but yeah, there's more of the chassis with this black stuff on than there isn't, so I'm quite pleased with that. It comes off quite nicely actually while it's cold. Yeah, so yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. Lovely jubbly. Round the back, if I spin around to here, all of this part is all for like the rear step and the back of the body, which, if I move that charger out of the way, is basically bolted on with 3 bolts like a tow bar would be. That's basically how that's been put on. This here I think was one of the original exhaust mountings, or something to do with that, maybe an earth point or something, but I can grind all that off, clean that all up, and that probably won't get put back on because I won't need it. But that bit's rotted out lovely. So all of this will be coming off. I'll remove all of that so that's all out of the way, and yeah, it's but again, the chassis, it's all got this lovely black underseal stuff on. So I'll go take you around to the other side, which is about the worst side. Right, here we are. Here's the passenger side. I've left my screwdriver around the other side now, but this is about the only place where I've actually physically got a hole. Now this has had some plates put on it, as you can see. In an ideal world I'll chop all of those out and put a whole new piece in. Again, this spring hanger is going to have to be shot blasted up, new bolts and put back on. But there may well be some corrosion under that. Billy's got himself tangled up in the microphone wire. That's it. Yeah, there may well be some corrosion under there. In fact, there is a hole under there. I can get my fingers in it. So this piece here is the worst piece, which is the passenger side, which is the side that gets all of the muck out of the road. But on the whole, there's still a good lot of white paint on there. Now, when I originally bought this van, I paid £800 for it with a year's MOT. I've lived in it for the past 5-6 years, and now I'm going to do some more work on it. Now the thing is, could I really buy a Transit this shape, as good as this, for 800 quid? I know it's got some holes, but on the whole I think it's rather good. This, by the way, is where there's supposed to be another one of those Outriggers. Again, that's been gone for a long time, and it's the Outrigger that's caused all of this corrosion basically. This is the shock absorber mounting. This is going to need that's going to need cutting out, a new tube sleeve through to the other side, and then obviously a new bolt, so that'll all need doing. This here's the anti-roll bar mounting. I shall probably make new anti-roll bar mountings because they don't look all that good. But yeah, so I mean, this is really the only bit that's been welded, and that was welded before I got it. So I am going to need a new one of these. I'll have to make another one of these up and weld it on, which supports the diesel tank. So I shall have to take the diesel tank off, and I may well replace that with a truck style, like a lorry style diesel tank, which if I do I perhaps won't need these, but we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I'm pleased with the condition of it. The rear spring hanger on this side, which if I take you to here, is maybe better there. Yeah, that's it. It's a little more corroded than the other side. I don't know what to do about that. Again, I think this has had some welding on the bottom of this, but it's not holed. Whenever it was welded, it's still solid, but it looks like it could be rather scabby under here. Again, from this outrigger. That was the knocking that I'd been hearing all the while that I've had the van. Now, I mean, that, yeah, there you go, look. That's, I think that will come off if I just give it a couple of those. Bit of metal fatigue. There you go. That's pretty much what I've been working with. That was fit to fall off, wasn't it? So yeah, that's that off. Put that up there for now. But as you can see, that's that metal work again. Needs to come off. Needs to have a good clean up around there. But on the whole, it is pretty good, I think. I'm rather impressed. Yes, I am indeed. So this will all be coming off again. Yes, that's just come off. That was the earthing point. There was one the other side as well, so that's obviously what that was, but I can see that's had a earth wire on it. So yeah, all of the spare wheel carrier, that's all going to have to come off. Yeah, so I'll just give you a look at the chassis from the top in a minute. Right, I've switched to my selfie stick now, so you may start to feel a little seasick, but this is the main, like, cross piece, if you like, which is all solid and all covered with that black under seal. There is, you can just about make out the 4 bolts there which hold the leaf spring hanger, and this piece here, which is the part of the cross piece that runs across here and across here, I believe that is just bolted with that 1 bolt to the outside chassis. So when I remove that spring hanger, that's about the area I'm going to cut it around about here to extend it, because it does actually have some curves in it. It's not as straight as I'd have kind of hoped. Obviously the prop shaft will need lengthening, the brake pipes will need lengthening, and the handbrake. Other than that, that's pretty much all that's going to need lengthening. But on the top it's got numerous, these again are ambulance body bits which are going rusty, and then you get the original transit one which is solid. Yeah, as you can see, still plenty of white paint under there. Not sure about that piece around there, that might need a bit of work, but on the whole it's looking quite good. Move to the back here a little bit, and all of this steel work is for the spare wheel, so I can probably lose a good bit of that, I'm not too sure. But yeah, I'm very impressed, and this is basically what I have left of my ambulance. Move that out the way, and you can see all of the tow bar and such like, the ends of the chassis there. A lot of that steel work, that's all going to be going. All of this piece here will be going. This tow bar will be going, this piece here, this spare wheel well, that'll all go, that'll all go, all of that lot, and just leave me with the chassis ends. I think, because some of these have been put in as extras, I'm going to leave those in. Just they're only, that one's a piece of angle iron, but I think I'm going to leave that one in just for extra strength. Yeah, so on the whole I'm quite pleased with it. Definitely. Around the back of the cab here, that's all solid. Probably got a couple of little bits to do there, but that's all nice and solid on the passenger side. Round on the driver's side, there's a bit of a hole there. I've got a bit of a hole there, which I'm going to have to sort out, but that's no bother. But yeah, the chassis is all rather good. So obviously I'm going to have to do the wheel arches because they're starting to show their signs of rust. That's all I've got left of the green stripe, just that one little bit which used to continue all the way along the body. Yeah, so yeah, looks a little different now. I've still got this part of the body still on because I didn't realise that there was all these bolts, big massive wires, all from when it was an ambulance for flashing lights and that, I would think. And because I didn't get those bolts undone, I might have a bit of work to do just here. Yeah, that might need a bit of work, but yeah, I'm rather impressed with it. So here's round the other side. Gonna have the wheel arch to do there. It's had new wings on it at some point, so it's just really the wheel arches that need doing there. So yeah, as my mate said, best thing I ought to do is get it all totally cleaned up before I put the luton box on. Cleaned up, painted up, welded up, so it's all done and ready. Right, now I'm on my selfie stick again, and I've got all of that tow bar removed. Look, got a load of these outriggers removed. Some of these were missing this side. Still got those two to go, and I've not got any of them out of the middle yet. But I was just having a bit of a look at a hole here, and I thought, hang on, there's a bit of newspaper in there. And lo and behold, somebody has scrunched up some newspaper and shoved it in that hole in the bottom of the sill on the driver's side. And I thought, oh, I wonder when that was. So I managed to find a date on this piece of newspaper, and the date is, I don't know if it's going to zoom in on that, there you go, Wednesday, July the 4th, 2012. So in 2012, somebody did some bodywork here, around here, shoved a load of newspaper in it, and what looks to be like probably some fiberglass filler or something. Now, 2012, that to me is 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, about 5 or 6 years ago. Now, I've never done any body work to the front there like that, so that must have been the person that I bought it from. Yeah, so that's not very good, is it? Yeah, just thought I'd show you that. Got my little mate Billy here just helping me out a little bit, ain't you, Bill?